Hey, this is Dwayne Bennett. This is 72 of 365. 72 of 365. I'm in my office. If the shot look a little different, it's because I'm doing it from my phone. Got in here, got a little later than I wanted to be. Then I guess I could have set up my um, studio. I'm looking around my office studio a little more, but it was probably would take too much time. And again, I'm learning that completion is better than perfection. So instead of having a perfect scene, I think the scene looks pretty good. That's my Let me turn around a little bit. You can see a little bit of my that's the picture I got from I went to Cuba. I don't think I told you all a lot about my Cuba trip, but I needed to tell you about that. But completion is better than perfection, so I wanted to get this point out tonight. This concept, this is very, very valuable, and you're probably going to want to share this with as many people as you can because I think it's going to help a lot of people. And I had this conversation on my way home with my wife. She was following me. We was in two different cars. Went to different places. We met up, had some dinner, went to see my mom. My mom's not doing well. Spent a little time with her. Spent a little time with my sister. Then we got back in the car. Got in my car. Took her to her car. Then we came home. I guess that's a lot of background. But anyway, just a little insight into my night and my evening. Just got to get it done. But we were talking about uh, me and me doing my lives and me, speaking at different places and those things. And one of my thing that my wife noticed, she said, a lot of times, you do um, your lives every night. You do volunteer things, and she said you don't give those things as much value as you do for the things that you get a check for. And she said, I notice sometimes you don't have the energy, you don't feel as good about those things sometimes as when you get a check. And she says, it's not the value is not always in the check. The value is in what you do. Oh, the value is not in the check, and the value is not what you do. And she said every night you touch into 200 to 300, maybe 400 people lives a night, and because you get a check sometime, don't get a check, you don't value that as much. She said, but that's still a $10,000 speech. And I was like, wow, you're right. We got to watch how we value things in society and how we value things in our own eyes. So because I wasn't getting the $10,000 check for the lives or the $10,000 check for some of the volunteer stuff, what I was devaluing those things. But guess what? I was also devaluing myself. Here we go. And that's a form really of low self-esteem sometimes. I wasn't esteeming myself as high as I was when I getting a check, when I wasn't getting a check. And I told you night after night, I tell you night after night, I'm giving you the best stuff I've got. I'm not holding back. I'm not discounting stuff. I'm not cutting stuff back. I'm giving you the best stuff I got. So whether or not I get a check or not, that doesn't mean it's this speech, this time with you is less valuable than when I'm at the Department of Defense, or when I'm at Marymount University, or when I'm at University of Richmond, or when I'm at Georgetown, whether I'm getting that check or not, I'm still as valuable, and the things that I do is still as valuable. And in an indirect way, that kind of mess with our self-esteem. So don't let anyone devalue you or yourself based on whether or not you get paid or based on how they see you. What is the value that you give to yourself? How do you feel about yourself? What is your own self-worth? That's the only thing that matters. Because, I'm gonna say this right, and I probably should be able to say it another way, but I just can't think of another way to say it. This is, damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you do well, people are going to have something to say about that. If you don't do well, people are going to have things to say about that. And you can't go around, or I can't go around having other people put value on my life, messing with my head or my esteem just because, hey, things don't go their way or they don't see things the way that I see them. So it was a great conversation I had, and it reminded me when I was down at my cousin's church probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And what he was telling me was, he's like, I'm having conversations with frat brothers and church members, and even though they are not commenting on your live, he said they're watching them and they're talking about them. And he said, here we go, you're having a greater impact on people than you think you are having. And I was like, you know what? When I don't get a lot of likes, really, and I don't get a lot of comments, I'm thinking, wow, I didn't do good, or I could have done better, or something was wrong with me. It's nothing wrong with me. It's just that people didn't see it, right? Or it's just that people didn't make a comment. But here we go. He was trying to tell me it wasn't that it was still having the impact that I wanted to have, even though I wasn't getting the response I wanted to get. Oh, that's good, right? That's good. So in your life, let me stop. I'm getting excited myself. So even though you may not get the impact, response that you want to get from people, even though you may not get the likes, even though you may not get the comments, even if the people don't appreciate you for the things that you do, that don't mean the thing that you did was any less valuable. It was just as valuable. It was just that they didn't understand your worth. They didn't understand your value. They didn't understand what they were getting. So we got to stop going around letting people determine who we are or what our value is to them or what our value is to the world and what impact we are having. Even though we may not get the response that we want, we are having an impact. If we're showing up every day, if we're giving our best, if we're having integrity, if we're dealing with people where they are, if we're present with people, we are showing value, we are giving value, and we are doing what we were supposed to do. I'm looking up now because, I'm looking on my wall. It says, do more of what makes you awesome, right? So every day I do this, I'm doing more of what makes me awesome. And whether or not one person listens to it, or whether or not 10,000 people listen to it, or whether or not I get $1 check, no check, or a $10,000 check, it doesn't make it any less valuable. So I thank my wife for encouraging me. I thank my cousin for encouraging me, because sometimes I feel like I'm out here doing this and nobody cares and nobody's seeing it and nobody is not making a difference. But he told me, he said, people are listening. People are responding. People are taking your advice. People are talking because they're telling me, but you may not get the feedback, so don't stop. He said, go hard. He said 365. He love it. Bay Thornhill, Reverend Ronald Thornhill, Bishop Ronald Thornhill. Thank you for giving me the name 365 Live. He said, keep on with your 365. And he even believed in me so much, he's going to have me doing some things with him, with his organizations. People are coming in and say, hey, off this, I want you to do some things with me. I want you to do some things with our organizations, because they see the value even though they may not have said it at the particular time. That is great. So what's the point tonight? You are valuable. The things that you do are valuable. Don't let other people determine your value, your self-worth. Don't beat up on yourself if you don't get the response you think you should get from doing the thing that you should think, things that you do all right. My arms are getting tired, so I'm moving around a little bit, right? No matter what people pay you, right? That's not who you are. That doesn't determine your self-worth. No matter what people pay you or don't pay you, it doesn't determine your self-worth, because I'm just going over this again, but my wife was exactly right. I've told you, you've heard it. I give you the best that I have, the cutting edge, based on my training, based on my around the world travel, based on my conversations with people. I give you the best that I have at this particular time, and that's invaluable, no whether I receive a check or not. So when you help someone today, that's invaluable. When you did something good for someone else today, that's invaluable. When you showed up your true, authentic self today at work, that was invaluable. When you helped someone at your house, that was invaluable. When you did something for that nonprofit organization, that was invaluable. Whenever you just encourage someone, that was invaluable. Don't let anyone put a value on what you do to diminish you or your self-worth or your esteem. You got it? I'm pumping myself up, right? Because I need this at times too. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm an inspirational speaker, but sometimes I have to talk to myself. What are you saying to yourself? How do you see yourself? How are you showing up? Do you count the likes? If you don't get the likes, that'll mess your day up. Are you depressed? When you see people on Facebook and on social media and they're doing things or saying things, do that make you feel bad? You shouldn't, because you're comparing those things to what your situation is, and a lot of times they don't match. So if you don't get anything from this tonight, I want to tell you, I'm looking you straight in the eye. I hope I'm looking directly in the camera. You are valuable. You are infinitely powerful. You're worth much more than you think you are. You are more awesome than you think you are. The little thing you did was bigger than you think it was. The things you did today to make you feel awesome are the things that the world need from you. You have a purpose, and as long as you're working towards that purpose, as long as you're walking out that purpose, as long as you're doing the best you can, you are valuable. Your esteem should be high. You should feel good about yourself, and if don't nobody else do it, pat yourself on the back. All right, I wish I could take my hand off this camera, right? I'll pat myself on the back right now. You know what? I just want to thank you for spending the time with me. I don't know if you'll see this in the morning. I don't know if you'll see this in the afternoon. I don't know if you see this at night. But whenever you see it, I want you to know that I'm with you. I am with you. I know you're valuable. I know you're worth something. I know you're special. I know you're marvelous. I know you're awesome. You heard the poem, our deepest fear are not that we're how it goes. Our deepest fear is not that we're not. I'm trying to think of the words. I can't think of the words right now. But the point of it is that it's not that we're not valuable. Is that sometimes our deepest fear is that we are more valuable. We are more special. We're more awesome than we think we are. And sometimes we sell ourselves short. Don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself short. All right, I took it up right. I'm bringing it down. So it's time for me to end, but I'm so excited. This is 72 of 365. I've been here 300. Be here on, when is it? January the 31st, 2020. I'll be here just like I am today. And I hope you'll be here with me as we go through this journey together. Self-discovery, growth, and getting to the next level. And on this journey, we always say where we are is not our final destination. And we're all doing this. We're moving from worry to winning. And I'll see you on the other side. Thank you for spending the time with me.